We meet again to pray for we consider the question, what would Christ do or say if he were to stand in front of an Israeli checkpoint today?
Christ at the checkpoint is a movement. It begins with an idea, a vision, and then continues to ignite the fire of the Lord in the hearts of men and women alike who seek justice and mercy in our land. The heartbeat of this movement is to encourage and to motivate God's people everywhere to stand up for justice, to stand up for the oppressed and to the marginalized, and to honor those who have been murdered for their faith, for standing against the ideology of deception. Christ at the checkpoint is a movement dedicated to the gospel message of love, mercy, and justice.
We are facing serious crisis. This is the time for wise men and wise women. This is not a time for us to act foolishly. This is the time for building bridges, not the time for building walls.
Christian presence in Israel, Palestine, and throughout the Middle East is not and will not be measured by its statistical importance, but rather by the significance of its contribution to society, particularly in its gospel language of love.
If we learn how to forgive, the future can be different if the church spreads forgiveness and becomes an active peacemaker at all levels, including the educational, social, and theopolitical levels.
That we were made in the image of God. To be human is to be made in the image of God. But in the same breath that God says all humanity is made in God's image.
If we're persecuted for the sake of Jesus, we stand in a great long line of the persecuted. And though it is not our goal to be persecuted, it is our goal to follow Jesus, but the context in which we do that will put us in a context in which the suffering that may come as a result of that puts us in the line of others who, like those that have gone before us, have tried to simply be faithful to the God who led us. And it's after all that long line of blessings that then Jesus says, as we began, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world.
What are you trying to say what is your voice for the young Palestinian Christian? What is your message going to be to the young people here?
Peter, the Jewish fisherman, and Cornelius, the Roman centurion, are brought together for a dialogue, prayer, and a meal. They learn from one another, and their encounter became in itself a bridge of reconciliation and peaceful way forwards for their communities.
What I see for the future of the Christian Palestinian youth in Israel and Palestine through the current conflict as the only true peacemakers.
Hope, love, faith.
What I don't want for our future is to see our Palestinian young adults leaving their homeland and searching for an easier life in the West, because there we will only be a number of many others. But here we can make a change.
If we have a scale, on one hand it says everyday life and church on the other end. Christ at the Checkpoint Young Adults approach was somewhere in the middle. For us, the conference was a success, and it was encouraging to see young Palestinians willing to ask hard questions and willing to listen to even harder answers.
With this challenge, do you believe that the church can make a difference? I'm serious. Do you believe that the church can make a difference, or do you feel it's nothing that big that can be done? And if you truly believe that the church can make a difference, well, let's get to action. let's work and let's do something.